Good morning. Okay, people. Hello, good morning, everyone. What's going on? Good morning, good morning. How is everyone? Candy Roop. I got it. How is everyone? As usual, it's Monday morning, getting ready for Movement Monday with Karen Windsor from the UK at Kaz Talks, and broadcasting from both YouTube and Instagram, two different phones. So that's why you kind of see me sometimes juggle a little. Not seeing her yet, but also realizing that I need to get my drink. So hold on a second. Having a little passion on a Monday morning. Which is pretty funny because for years and years and years I have drank tropical passion iced tea. Hello! We've made it. Oh, that's a cute idea. Should I do that too?
But yeah, it's too hot. So I was like, yeah, let's go for the cuteness.
Let's see. I don't ever do that. But let's see if I can make it happen, because I think I have to do something, and now I realize I forgot the hair bands. I think I have to start the day off right away on a Monday with just a little moment of acknowledgement, I guess, for all that has transpired here in the US over the past few days. And most of you who have followed me will know that I am really not one to comment on politics or the state of the world, the union, whatever. But
But we're with it.
But suffice to say that it is we've got another historic moment that we're experiencing. I saw the most brilliant meme post, whatever you want to call it, the other day that said, I am tired of living in unprecedented times. And I was like, brilliant. I could not have said it any better. And that is pretty much how I feel. I do
That's
think.
really. Yeah, no, go on.
I do think that there is hope, and people need to remember that there are things that we can do we can push to amend the Constitution because we can. I I don't necessarily think that there's any right in putting any energies toward trying to have that opinion changed, because I don't think that that is going to happen or be possible, because I believe that the court did what they felt was right in upholding the Constitution. So now we have to look at new ways to say how are we going to handle this. And they're not saying that we can't go forward and have these procedures. They're just saying that it's not under their jurisdiction any longer. And okay, so we can fight on to try and have the Constitution changed, or amend the Constitution to say, no, this should fall under a federal mandate, or we can just go and lobby and get in touch with all of our representatives, because Congress can change also, right? So there's that. And we can go and talk to them about ratifying that way, or we can just go directly to our states and talk to our states who are trying to impose these, well, either their old laws or new laws that affect just their state and not favorably for people who want to have a choice. And so those are the avenues. It's not, it's not a hard no, and people are not going to be penalized, so to speak, or I don't know what the right word is. They're not going to be not allowed. People will be allowed to seek care outside of where they live. And there are now companies who are saying that they will support that. So if some companies are supporting that, I imagine that there will become all kinds of pop-up organizations that will also be involved, let alone the organizations that we already have in place. So I do think that there will be ways to access care. It may not be as easy as walking down the street without anybody knowing about it. And it will add some complexities that maybe people haven't had to encounter now for 50 years. But there is hope that there still will be care. It will be different, and I know for me personally, I am just, like I said, I'm tired of being in these unprecedented times, and I'm tired of feeling like people are telling me what to do, which I've now survived through the past 2.5 years of people telling me what to do, in particular telling me what to do or not do in regard to my body. And so now here's a whole nother thing that we thought we didn't have to concern ourselves with, but we're back to being told what to do. And so, or it feels like we're being told what to do. It's not really what's happening, but that's because we've been in these other dire circumstances for this 2.5 years. It just feels like another assault on that, where in essence, it's really not, it's just a shift in where the power lies. And that just feels scary because we don't know. We hear what's likely proposed and what's likely going to be happening, but we just don't, just like we didn't know this was going to happen. We still don't know. And that's another thing, is like, oh my God, how many more balls in the air can we possibly have? And so, and then of course, we've had other either rulings or discussions about things to come, and it's kind of just leaves everybody in a whole nother level of uncertainty, and that's just not really comfortable, and it's scary, and the triggers are many. The triggers are many. So there you go. That's it. That's all. And as you can see, you'll see it in my face. My mother said I would always be a shitty poker player because I wear my emotions on my face. And so that's kind of why I look this way today, because I'm not so joyful. It's a heavy it's a heavy moment. It's yet again another heavy moment. Just as we think that there's some brevity, some other, to just put it out there, some other shit hits the fan. And yes, I do curse from time to time, maybe even quite regularly. Maybe I could take on a truck driver, but
but you could give us here in England a bit of a run for our money.
Publicly,
I would say you can give us a run for my money. Well, you can give me a run for my money. It's just it might sound like it.
Publicly, I don't necessarily. I try to speak kindly. I try to speak kindly.
It's hard when there's things going on like this in the world, because we've gone through, like you said, we've gone through enough. And this obviously feels very targeted towards us as women.
Yes.
But we all have to muster our strength to come together peacefully, not in a violent or derogatory way. And I think if we do, then the divine feminine will work together.
Well, I mean, you just actually.
But they already are, if you think about it.
No, but the thing is,
in the US, but there's an awful lot of people who, there's an awful lot of stuff going on here in England, i.e. like protesting. There's lots of places all over the world that are saying the same thing. Right. Because at the end of the day, we're all women. Right. That doesn't change us. Do you know what I mean? It is who we are.
Yes.
And we have a right to make a decision. And
right. But that's where I am going to speak out about that. I think you hit a really good point. Wait, I need to stop the comments because I can't even look at them right now. And we usually turn them off right away. I mean, we usually turn them off right away anyway.
Yeah.
But, and I forgot because I was trying to be very succinct. But what the point that you brought up is that, don't I look like Pippi Longstocking or something? I'm pretty sure that my influencer peers who are concerned with their beauty all the time would be like, what in the hell are you doing? But anyway, I'm just real. I'm just out here.
Being joyous, having fun.
I'm just me. I'm, whatever. Anyway, I think
you make it look cute, Beth.
Right. What my cringy, my 16-year-old self would have a stroke. Okay, so the part that you brought up that I think is relevant, and of course, not many people study this, especially anymore, but it is something that I certainly have been, and certainly you have been, over the past. Sorry for that mess. That was all my fashion that needs to happen. But anyway, is that the divine feminine right now is on the rise. There are people coming back into their divine feminine and realizing the power that we hold when we stand in our femininity. I know personally myself that has been a revelation to me over the past 5 years and 6 years, I guess we're at. 2016 is when I started studying about the divine feminine and masculine. And, there are some people that don't like that. And so, we're kind of in this uprising that you kind of have to wonder, how does that play into it? Is this just some new messing, a new form of messing with us? And the women, the reality is that women have had so much power forever, since the inception of time. I mean, the reality is that women hold all of the power, because without us, you wouldn't exist. So there's that. Let's just be real. And so, I mean, these little antics of how can we change the narrative? How can we throw a curveball? How can we, but as you and I especially know, is that the comeback is always stronger. So you might want to consider whether you want to really mess with us or not. And so, I take comfort and pride in that at this point we have how many generations that have been in the season of women not just taking it, right? I mean, I don't know how many generations do we have. We've got like 6 maybe right now that have been around since this original thing was passed. And so it's not like this isn't new anymore. This is not something. And maybe the Women's March was preparation for this. It's kind of like we didn't know, you can't know what you don't know, but we know a little more now. So like, I don't know. So anyway, so that's it. I hope that the men who are hearing this, that are listening, can take a moment, take a step back, and recognize how this impacts you as well. And I hope you can muster up the energy to support the women in your world, because it's imperative. It's not just a women's issue. That the only way that a woman can get in that state, well, okay, regardless of technology. I mean, I know there's technology, but that's a whole separate complication that nobody's even talking about. But let's just talk about the old-fashioned way, and it takes 2 to tango. And so, in some way, you're going to be involved. Your son is going to be involved. Your grandchild's going to be involved. Somebody let alone if it's your granddaughter or your daughter or your wife, your girlfriend, whatever. Your future children, your future grandchildren, whatever. You get it. This is not a one-sided thing. It involves everyone. It may I was really surprised actually to see the protests that I saw in LA on Saturday, I guess. I was really surprised to see that there were not, I mean, I don't know that I saw any men in any of the video shots from the news, and I was really shocked about that. I was really shocked about that. Because when we had the Women's March, there were so many men. I knew so many men personally who were there as well. So it's just an interesting thing. And no, I am not going to be covering any of that kind of thing on my page. So don't, expect to be looking to see, oh, is Beth there? Because likely you won't find me there. That's not my, I'm not looking for that type of visibility. And, there's so many things that can be done behind the scenes that there's, for me, that would be misplaced energy. So, let's see. Yes, Wayne, we were having a big discussion about that last night. He was mentioning that one of the justices wanted to look at all the different gains that we've had over the 60 years, except for one. And, we can't predict, right? We can't predict what's going to happen. And, everything can be up for discussion, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, I am ready to move on to what we're here to do, and that is move our bodies on Movement Monday.
Yeah, so the reason that I sat down is I really struggle because of my knees.
Yes.
And my joints and everything else. I can walk.
Mm-hmm.
I can walk, I can train, I cannot stand.
Standing is not a thing. Right, so you would not have been doing well with me at the Viper Room the other night, because I just calculated.
Around you and says to you, I need to sit down because my knees just come into play, and once they do, I really do struggle.
Yes, 5 hours. So I was basically standing for 5 hours. Maybe in those 5 hours,
yes,
I had 20 minutes sitting.
Your legs might be hurting you today.
Yes, I know. But might have had, okay, let's just go with a half an hour. Maybe I sat on a stool for a half an hour in total. Probably not, but in 2 15-minute increments, maybe. But yes, so I am blessed to be able to do that. I do feel some swelling in my knee pads, but that's a thing. Now I can say I had protein yesterday, so there you go. I mean, and the combination for me can be a factor. It's still every day I'm starting to work that out. Hey, if there is anybody who knows a vegan protein shake that does not have stevia in it, has some other sweetener like monk fruit or erythritol. Is it erythritol? I think it's okay. Can you let me know? Because it's like trying to find a needle in a haystack. That tastes good. Okay, let me refresh that. That tastes good.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's all. That's all about that. Okay. Karen, what are we doing for this Monday? I know that we're doing a full body, and I'm ready for it.
Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's do it then. Let's get this up. So we're going to do what we did similarly last week, to be fair.
Okay.
Which you're going to love because it was I think it was your arms that felt like they were going to fall off.
Yes. But they're so much stronger this week. Not really. I wish I could
Okay,
say.
so we're just going to do some hip hinges.
Okay.
So, 1,
Oh my
2, 3,
Pippi long.
4, making sure the back stays nice and straight. 5,
Oh, those hamstrings.
6, exactly. You're using all of your muscles. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. We're going to do some shoulder rolls. We're going to do slightly different. We're going to put our hands on our shoulders. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to bring our arms down. We're going to put it across. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. And my favorite, let's go for the tricep. Squeeze. And then switch over to the other one. Giving it a good squeeze. Remember, neither myself or Beth are professionals. We are just two women who enjoy a workout with our lymphatics. Okay.
Yes, we are not professionals. We are just sharing our own workouts and the knowledge we have gained over the years. Squats.
So we're just going to back, like, this is just a warm up. We're not going to do a squat. We're just in a sort of, just bouncing there. What I want you to do is push through the floor with your feet so that you can feel your quads firing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Up on your heels. 1,
On my
2,
heels?
3, yeah, 4,
What does that mean?
5. Up on your toes, sorry. Ah.
Okay, I was like, wait a minute, how do I do that?
Yeah, no, that was my fault. Up on your toes.
I'm like, you look like you're on your toes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Back into that squat bounce.
I did those on the balls of your feet.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Up on your toes. 1,
I
2,
did that in the
3,
on the vibration
4,
plate the
5,
other day.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That's harder than you think when you're trying to talk and
Yes.
you're trying to balance.
The
That's not easy.
oh, no wonder.
Okay, so do you remember last week we did some what I call squat walks? So we went 1,
Oh yeah.
2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 2. So we're going to go 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. You can't actually see my legs.
You're not.
6.
No. That's why I was like, what are you talking
Okay,
about?
7.
I mean, you can't see mine
8.
either, but
9.
you know what? What if I did that?
10.
No, that doesn't help. Shit.
Okay, so we're going to do a curtsy squat.
Oh,
So we're going to go 1, 2.
What? That's just a side squat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Why is that a curtsy?
I don't know.
Isn't a curtsy like this?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you would be right.
I'm like, you're the English one. Don't they curtsy for the...
And then we're going to do curtsy spots.
Okay.
Okay. So, come on.
Like, don't confuse me. I'm like, don't they curtsy to the queen?
4, yeah, 4, 5.
Okay, you've got a little bit going on.
6, you blind me. 7, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 12. Perfect. Okay. Give them a good, shake around. Okay, so curtsy squats. Now, for me, this isn't an easy one, especially with my knees, hence why I wore this. So, I will only go into a half. So, 1.
What?
2, 3, 4. I always take these slowly. 5. Especially with your joints. If you have hypermobility, for the standoffs like me, then you take this slowly. 6. And you only go halfway. I want to see you going right the way down on the floor. I just want you to go halfway. 6, 7, 7, 8. The trick with this is to isolate those quads so that the muscle is tricked into thinking that it is hitting the floor, but you're actually getting good movement. 9, 10, 10, 11, 12, and 12. We're going to do that all again. Okay, so squat walk. 1,
Just,
2.
it's just such a funny.
It is with us with bunches. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
I feel like I should be on a football field going,
8. Get it. I wish. 9, 10, 11, and 12. Perfect. Side squats next. Clearly not curtsy squats. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. We really need to be able to put music on this. Okay, so,
Oh, yeah.
curtsy squats. So, 1, 2, 3, see? 11.
Not good. Don't do that.
12. Okay, perfect. Okay, so legs are nice and warm. Okay,
Let me see.
so we're going to do some squats now.
Right? The running in place. I'm sure that that was fine. Okay, what are we doing? What do we get? What do I gotta get?
Squats.
Oh.
Okay, 1.
I gotta do them this way.
So remember, if you want, because I've just remembered for myself, if you want to extend on that squat, and it's easier on your joints, put some weights underneath your heels.
Oh, if I want to go lower.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Give it a good shake because we're going to do it again. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Perfect. Okay. That's enough for the legs for today. On to the kettlebell.
Hi, Habibu. Hi, Nate. Okay, on to the kettlebell. Wait, what are we doing with the kettlebell right now?
Single arms and then full arms.
Okay. Got my dumbbell for the single arm.
There's this one.
Oh. Okay, never mind then. So heavy.
Okay, ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
on the live.
Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay? I did forget my water. Okay.
Guys, we're on the live. Okay, sorry. Okay, go ahead. What's next? Double?
Okay, so we're going to do double arms
Okay.
with the kettlebell.
Okay.
This time, though, we are going to do 3 rounds of 20.
Okay.
So,
You
1,
say so.
2, 3,
2,
4,
3,
5,
4, 5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7,
8,
8,
9,
9,
10,
10,
11,
11,
12,
12, really use your
13,
core.
14,
13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Perfect.
Woo! Hold up my thing there. I have a bunch of people at my house today that are doing a big project in the guest house. And so they've come in to get coffee.
Okay.
So you could have heard many voices. Okay.
2, 3,
3,
3,
4,
4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7,
8,
8,
9,
9. All
10,
Swiss blues. 10,
11,
11, 12, read.
13,
13,
14,
14,
15,
15. Hold that core. 16,
17,
17,
18,
18,
19,
19,
20.
20.
Oh.
Actually, I like it.
So
One more round and we're done, so.
it's one of my favorite things. Yes, whole bunch.
Okay. Ready.
Okay, ready?
1, 2,
2,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Woo! The good news is, this week I didn't feel like my arms were going to fall out.
That's so cool.
So that's awesome. Just proof that it depends on the day.
So it depends on the day.
It's crazy.
Okay, sit down. Guys,
Yes.
did you enjoy that? Send the hearts up if you did it.
Yes. Oh, good. Well, I don't have a chair. I'll just stand.
Yeah, see,
No, I won't. I'm gonna get a chair. Hold on.
Yeah. That was a really good workout, guys.
Oh, I guess you can't see it. So, this chair It's a leather chair. It's actually something that I inherited. It's not really something I would have chosen. But the reason why I was very excited to have them is because on the edge it has this little rounded part. And for whatever reason, I mean, I know most chairs have that rounded edge, but however this one, I don't know, I guess the arc of it or something, it does not hurt, the whole chair does not hurt the underneath of my legs, which is typically a thing that women with lipedema encounter, especially as the mass increases, when you have all of those beads stacked up on each other and pressure on them, it's just not comfortable. But I thought that everybody encountered that. I only learned in 2019 that everybody didn't encounter that, so I thought that was really fascinating.
I used to.
These are right. That's exactly my point. As you
I definitely used to when I had. I actually couldn't get into seats. There's actually stories.
Oh yeah, of course.
Where I actually broke a seat once, and then I broke a bench as well.
I broke a chair in my office once, an office chair. When I was at my biggest, that was part of what helped me make a change.
Yeah. I was at a wedding for a friend, and it was in the north, so I was far away from home. And I was on the bench with the bride and groom for a picture, and the bench just went. But at that time I was in bandaging on both legs, so I forced myself to go to the wedding. I had a vacuum pack as well. And
wait, what's a vacuum pack? I don't know what that is.
So I had.
Oh, on your wound.
On my wound, yeah.
Okay, I got it. I now know.
Yeah. Staying in a travel lodge, I just felt awful, absolutely awful. It was a turning point, like you said, it was a turning point. But when you've got to make the turning point within an illness, within the unknowing of understanding how to make a turning point within an illness, the whole thing just changes.
Well, it's interesting because I do read people...
Because I didn't know what I was doing.
Right. Well, I do read people who have said, I'm so glad that I made, like for instance, people who have gone, women with lipedema who have lost 150, 200 with keto alone, not even exercise, just keto. And then they find out that they have lipedema. And many stories recount that had I known I had lipedema, I don't know that I would have started. And this is something that you and I talk about a lot. And that is that there's so much, since we're still in Lipedema Awareness Month, there's so much misinformation out there about, well, you can't lose your lipedema fat. Well, guess what? I forget what the statistic, Lipedema Foundation just published it. It's a very high number of women
really
with...
Interesting. So there's a actual published piece of paper that states how
yes, the percentage of women that have obesity, or at least report obesity.
And was that number high?
Yes, it was high. It
Yeah,
was it was certainly more than half. It was certainly more than half. I just can't remember what it I can't remember what it was.
I think I think in my clinic there's probably 2 women who don't
have obesity.
have any sort of obesity, but they are in your. They would be a 2 or a 2 or a 4 or even a 0. One of them would be a 0. And that's where the differences are. You can be at the end of the scale with extreme staging, or you can be at this end of the scale in a lower staging, but you're still lipedema. You're still suffering from the illness.
Right. Yes, exactly.
And yet they're the ones that turn around and say, I'm doing everything I can to lose everything, and then bless their hearts, there is nothing that they can lose.
Correct. Right. Well, that was like when I first went into Iker's office, and she's like, there's absolutely no fat on your body. There's nothing for you to lose that's not lipedema. And
that's what the difference is, and that's why I think that there's misinformation in certain areas, because Iker has turned around and said to you, there's nothing more for you to lose.
Right.
But you have.
But since then I gained, so now there is something for me to lose. So.
Yeah, okay, but when you but go back to Iker and when you were in Iker's office and she said there's nothing for you to lose.
Yeah.
It is lipedema.
Yes.
Then your lipedema is of a different strength or build to other people's, like mine, for instance. Mine's not going to go like yours. Because when I did have legs that were like, when I did have really big legs that were bigger than yours, right? It wasn't lipedema. It was diagnosed as such, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Whereas
I mean, for me, I know.
You turn around and you say that there is natural fat on you now from that you've put on, but not to the extent, Beth, because I've seen pictures of you at Iker's office.
No, I mean it's not tremendously different. It's not tremendously different. I'm sure that actually a big part of that is progression of lipedema and also that interstitial fluid. I'm sure that there's a lot of that because I can wear the same clothes, and even though the number reads higher on the scale, for the most part, I can wear most clothes. So, even that, I don't know where they are, but I'm gonna try them soon. Those jeans that I tried when I thought that I had gained such a tremendous amount of weight, and I thought that I'd gained it all in my thighs, and then the reality was that those jeans actually fit in my thighs. They didn't quite close in the top, or maybe they were able to get there, but like there's no way in hell you would ever be able to wear the, whatever. But so it was the reality that this, from here up with my butt and my hips is really where the majority of the the fluid is. And I know, whatever, Dr. Herbst is always like, oh my God, it's so heavy, So after we talked this morning with the massage gun and all of that, so we were talking this morning about the massage gun. We're both trying different things with massage gun. I'm having some success in affecting the fibrosis in my knees, which is really one of my biggest areas of fibrosis. I think my hips are the area where there's so much fluid, but I think my knees have a lot of fibrosis. And then this little pad below, and when I use the massage gun on it, I can very quickly, I can see like a little fold that happens, so like a little loosening of the skin, which means it's being broken down. It's very strange. It doesn't happen any other time, even when I go on the vibration plate. And so I did go on the vibration plate after we talked, and I sat on it, I went on my side, I laid on my front, I did all of these different, I did like a plank on it. And then my body was fizzing after, but it was not still like, oh, this just light feeling that, I used to get when I would first go on it. Like it would be a completely different thing, or the thing that I experienced with the massage gun where I was like, whoa, look, I can walk so differently. So it will be interesting to see. I moved yesterday. Part of my self-care Sunday was redoing my girl cave, which unfortunately is maybe going to become more of a man cave. I'm not really sure how I feel about that at the moment. So, that reign of power is overarching. Anyway, outvoted 2-1. But I moved the Hypervibe back into the house, and so that's why I was doing it after we talked. And I thought, okay, well, I'm gonna do this every day again for a longer period of time. It didn't seem to affect me adversely, so let's see if that helps, because if I combine the two where I do the specific percussive with the gun and then also the little shaking, let's see if that makes a big
see what happens. Difference. It's all trial and error.
Yeah. So that's kind of the latest. We'll see. And then let's see that I can get back into F45. This new schedule for my son is really whipping me with scheduling with the classes, and so I just have to figure out how to get around that, because basically all of the classes are within like time that I even need to take him, or I need to pick him up, or I need to take him again, or I need to pick him up, or I need to take him again, or pick him up. So it's like, wait a minute, what? There's got to be a way. So, but as we discovered this morning in my little mystical information we were seeking, family first. So it all makes sense, right?
Yeah, I've sent it to you. It's in your messenger.
Yes.
So you've got it there to study. Anyway, it's 7 o'clock. I have got to go. It is the dark moon tonight, so make sure you let go, because we've got the new moon tomorrow.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Hope you found that workout helpful, and we'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Will. See you later. Bye.
Bye. See ya. Bye for now. Hello, YouTube. Let me see if we have any. Thanks, Nate. J.A., are you still here? Oh, yeah, the hamstring. I was feeling the hamstring, Nate. Okay, J.A., if you're still here, let me know. Bye, Habibu. If J.A. is still here, I want to cardio and eating fewer calories. Last minute heroics. So both Kara and I have a disease called lipedema, and that's what this is all about. You see this? This is hanging skin from when I used to weigh 400 pounds, but inside of this hanging, see, you can't really see it on me. It's kind of fascinating. Inside of here feels like it feels like as if you had a bag of pearls, And that is what lipedema feels like on my body, even on the top here. Oh, maybe you could see them. You see those little balls? I guess maybe you could see that. I don't know. In any case, lipedema. I just can't even get into it right now. This is Lipedema Awareness Month. And yeah, Nate, you've never heard me say that? I say it all the time. Yeah, absolutely. Um, and and yeah, so it is a progressive disease, but as we were just speaking about, um, there are different levels of regular fat within the body, and then it becomes a progressive condition that competes. So, yeah, yes. And so, yeah, Nate, yeah, when over an 18-month period, um, with lots of protein and 6 days a week in the gym weight training for 30 minutes of weight training and 20 minutes of cardio, treadmill, elliptical, recumbent. I lost 230 pounds. So, yeah. And so, I don't know how much I weigh today. Let's just go with I'm likely up 50 today. So, but when I saw Dr. Eichel the first time, maybe I'm still up about 20 from then. Yeah, that's probably about right. Something like that. And so at that time, I was told that there wasn't really anything but lipedema on me because I had a six-pack and didn't really look like. Yes. And basically maintained the majority of that. I don't know, for, at least 10 years, probably. But you always have to, any person has to know that when they lose weight, there's usually always a 20% rebound. And so that was, whatever gain I had over the first few years was expected. But in my mind, I always think that I can get back to that. According to the lipedema doctors, I think most of them think that that would be unexpected at this stage, because the progression has happened. So, I don't know. We'll see. If I could really find a consistency between having the same exact food and the same exact exercise like I did during that 18 months, maybe it would be different. I don't know. Because I can't seem to find that consistency yet, so we'll see. But it is what it is. It's all seasons, and we learn from it all. Oh yeah, it's all good. It's all it's still an extremely successful story in life. I'm still I'm still fit. My health you know, my blood work and my health overall is exceptionally healthy. You know, where the doctors are like, my God, I wish my blood work would look like yours. Um, you know, you're doing something right. So that whole thing that I say, you know, I may not look, I may not physically look like the wealth of knowledge and experience within fitness and nutrition as you would expect. But I have an incredible amount of wealth and knowledge and experience in both of those areas. So, you know, that's one of the reasons why we share this. It's really interesting. As we were doing our workout today, I realized that at the time when I was at the lowest and I was my fittest, I was going to start a women's gym. I was going to start a women's gym as part of a franchise that handled fitness, nutrition, and fashion. And those were all my 3 high spots. And I just realized that I was going to do that. And I was in discussions with this franchise. And I even was like in the process of mortgaging my house. And, well, actually, I bought another house to flip, to be able to renovate and then to be able to fund that gym, to fund that franchise. And in the interim of doing that, the franchise itself, the company, the mother company, was floundering. And so it made no economic sense to become involved with that organization. And so I didn't go forward with that. And I guess soon after that, then I had my son, and so then, you know, my focus was being a mom. And and then today I was like, oh, look at that. Here, I'm back to that same dream, just in a different form, right? So yeah, kind of interesting. Life takes us in different chapters, different meanders, all of that. It's kind of fascinating. I don't think that J.A. ever said that he was still here, right? Healthy skin. Thank you. Yes, we actually were talking about that this morning. A lot of women with lipedema have what they call orange peel skin, but I actually have very soft skin and I don't have any of that kind of orange peel consistency. And yes, I am doing great. And many people wish that they could be doing this well. And I would have wished that I could have been doing this well had I never embarked on that plan. I don't know where I would be. Yeah, there's no point in even trying to imagine, because it would be a completely different life that would not be me in any way. So that was never my life, but I managed to try and find comfort in food when my mother passed away, and foods that weren't good for me. And I didn't realize that everybody else around me wasn't gaining the same weight, even though I was eating the same thing as them. I just knew that I was eating things that I didn't typically eat. And so it's kind of a interesting a thing, but I realized that I was always, it wasn't even that I was necessarily seeking the comfort in the food. I was seeking the comfort of my friends and my associates in always, you know, kind of being busy and doing things. And so often those occasions involved food, and I didn't even then have the kind of body that does well with food. My body does much better without food, and always has, quite frankly. um, so yeah, life is a fascinating journey. So I'm here sharing it. I often hope, well, I hope on a daily basis, that my sharing helps you in your journey somehow, helps you think about something you never thought of, helps you get some kind of a tip, helps inspire you to think about something differently, and that's what I'm here for. So, thanks again for joining me. I really appreciate your support, and I hope you are inspired and continue to share in this journey together. See you again. Bye for now.